Welcome back to the Elle-Sera podcast. And today I've got Emma Sayle. Emma is the founder of Kittens and also the social dating network Wax. But we're going to get into what both of these things are. So thanks for joining me, Emma.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. So I just want to get my coffee. Here we go. So I'm sure you've probably told this story a million times, but the potted history of Killing Kittens and how you came up with it, please.
It was just a really angry girl who did not like the imbalance in the world. And I think what started as being a real tomboy, army brat, doing loads of sport, climbing trees. Everything was like, if boys can do it, why can't I do it? Played the trombone at school because no other girl played it. So I thought, sod it, it's a cool instrument. And then hormones kicked in, and then you go into the dating world and suddenly it's like, hang on a minute, boys can do whatever they want and they can snog who they want and sleep with whoever they want. And, God forbid we have, just snog a random person at night time and went to university. And it was that I was doing loads of sport, but it was sort of, you could do everything but. And the amount of blowjobs that were given at university, because that was all right. Because you weren't actually having sex. Because if you had sex, you were a slut. So when you look back at it now, I'm like, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. The shame and that guilt and all of us. And then went into London and started work and had some harassment issues working financial PR. And it was one of those things that I went, just sod it. I want to create a world that flips the norm on its head, where women are in control, they make the first move, there's no shame or judgment, where they can chat, be really open sexually. Sort of 3 nights not sleeping in Ibiza kind of suddenly became Killing Kittens being launched to kind of create that space online and offline. So very much offline parties, but always with a small online side where women were the members. And it kind of, you look back and think I was 24, 25, quite insecure. And I kind of created that avatar world that I wish I lived in, but didn't have the confidence to live in.
I mean, it's just... When I was speaking to a few people in preparation for this podcast, I was like, okay, what were the questions you would want to know? Because obviously that's always the most interesting, what the listeners want to know. And they gave me a few things. But to want to have an idea, but then to see it through. And how old is Kittens now?
19 years.
19 years old, So this is a business you're still very much in at grassroots level. You're still pushing it. You're still driving it. The fire's still there within you for sure. So the biggest question that came up was, what is it like to go to a party and how does it work? If I wanted to sign up to Killing Kittens and I want to go to a party, what's the vetting process? What do I do?
So you have to be an online member. Only women can be members, and then you have guest members. So the guys have to be members as well, but they're called guest members. And you can buy a singles ticket or a couples ticket, and then you link your ticket to the guy or another girl. So the vetting, people always think, everyone's got to be, supermodel. It's all looks, but it's
not. That's what I thought as well.
It's sort of, it's kind of, maybe when I was a pain in the ass 25-year-old when I first launched it, it was like, right, everyone needs to be
got to be
hot.
super gorgeous.
And that was kind of, the word on the street. But actually it never really was we never did it on looks. It was just sort of the assumption. It's more if you're a real person. So the vetting is you submit photos, you then have to submit a photo back, touching your nose or touching your ear or just to show that you are the person in the photos. And then you have to give the reasons why you want to join and what it means to you. So it's more getting people who actually are on the right wavelength, who are coming for the right reasons. And that's how we vet people. So it's not a serious... I'm still getting loads of messages going, how can we be a member? And I'm like, it's actually really easy.
Yeah.
Just get online and sign up to signing up to a dating site type thing. And then you buy tickets.
Okay, so let's say I bought a ticket for an event. This is another question one of my friends had. She was like, I really want to go to one of the events, but, I don't know what to wear. And then, is there a place where I can hang my coat? All these things, right? I was like, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask her straight.
It is really obvious. I was taking some of what we're meant to with our wallets, because people are because we don't allow phones and people are so used to buying, just tapping your phone.
Yeah.
So I took some friends who were like, well, how are we buying drinks? Yeah. And actually, my husband had to lend one of his cards Because she was like, I've got apps that we don't allow phones, and they go in pouches, which get, locked up.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's all that kind of stuff. It's not silly questions.
Okay.
And then, so then everyone has to wear masks for all the events. The dress code, it changes a bit. It's always smart. So it's like cocktail dress or black tie some nights, or we've got a big one tomorrow night, which is the white party.
Right.
And we, when you sign up to an event, there's Pinterest boards to all the events, kind of with costume suggestions or dress suggestions. And I always say wear good lingerie, because even if you say you're not going to take your dress off, you never know.
Yeah.
And we get loads of, we get groups of girls coming down, and they just don't like dancing around and then in lingerie. That's it. That's,
Yeah.
And actually 50% of the people that come to the events now keep their clothes on. So it's more of a big party atmosphere. We always have drinks receptions. For the bigger events, there's always performers. So we have stages and pop-up performances all night, or performers like walking around the crowd. And then and DJs. So after the drinks reception, it turns into a big party, and then you can stay in the party area and not see any nakedness. You might see semi-naked people. Or you wander off upstairs or into the side rooms, which is sort of where we have big playrooms, kind of the equivalent of kind of 6 beds or 8 beds all joined together to make one big play space. And that's it really. So do
you ever focus on like the lighting or anything?
Yeah,
to make everything like very flattering.
Yeah, because that's the thing. From day one, I've always gone, it's where part of setting it up and doing it in a certain way was I was having to do the PR for the erotica exhibition. It was all really bright light, and it was a time when they were trying to make things more female friendly, because there was this female sexual revolution apparently happening. And it was, and I was just it got me more thinking, well, we don't like bright light. And yeah, that's where porn's different. So, the guys can just watch sex in bright light and they'll get turned on, and for us, it's the touch, the smell, the smell, the ambience. Our biggest sexual organ is our brain. So if that's not turned on, then I'm feeling comfortable. So from day one, it's sort of always been, we concentrate on all of that, and sex is a byproduct. So it's not, that's what we focus on, creating the space and the scene, and then people can do whatever they want to do.
How do you pick the venue for where you're going to do the parties?
We get offered more venues now, or you're always out looking for bigger ones. It's sort of got to have a flow. So we don't like our venues with loads of little rooms. It's got to be more open plan. We always go in with people, you kind of have to picture people arriving, flowing through the drinks reception into where the entertainment, dance floor, and how they then get up and flow around, walking around playrooms and stuff. Because it's got to be kind of circular. You've got to have,
like one big room with side rooms, I would imagine.
Otherwise you get people going in and then it's kind of, there's no flow out. So it's sort of that.
Do you ever get pushback from the venue saying, like, no, you're not doing this here?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, do you? Really?
Yeah, more. We use venues now more that are incoming, or
the ones they've offered them to you.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, we've got glowing references.
Yeah,
as a perfect client that leaves everything.
Yeah,
it's a really good clientele. There's no trouble. We leave it immaculate. So actually, we pay, they spend on drinks. So actually more and more venues, bigger ones, because now, our parties now, the big ones are kind of 700 to 900 people.
Wow, really?
So they're big spaces, which means the spend is big.
I had no idea it was that big. I always thought they were like, I don't know what I'm imagining in my head, but I was thinking max like 100 people.
No.
Wow.
That was like 6 months into year one.
Really?
So no,
is it hard to control? Is there like, is there people on the ground from your business who are like watching what's going on, making sure everything's good?
It's a full team of events, hosts, security. We have community kittens, so they're members, but they work as community kittens, so they go around keeping everyone safe. So we've got the mental health. Yeah. We're trained members of staff. So it's a full on machine.
Well, it's just like any other event, I would imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You take over a big nightclub and you have a full staff there.
Yeah. Well, it's, okay. Yeah, because one of my friends, she was like, can you ask her this and can you ask her that? Because she's very curious. I was like, no problem. I'll get it straight from the horse's mouth. But there's another side to it. So you launched online. So now there's like Killing Kittens community.
Yeah.
And then talk to me about Wax.
So Wax is it was We Are X.
Yeah.
And then we launched, and 2 months later, Elon Musk to
Or
change
X.
to X. So it's like perfect.
Great.
And then people were just calling it, are you a waxer? Are you on wax? It was like an automatic thing. And that was kind of what started as the online. Killing Kittens has always had a sort of small digital side that's got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then in sort of 2017, we realized that actually it was pretty much 50-50. And we had this whole online space, like online dating, with like chat rooms and stuff. And that's when we started taking investment in and really grew that side of it. And then we made the decision 2 years ago to actually, we wanted the online side to be all inclusive and everyone and anyone, and all these, there are amazing events out there and party setups and sex educators and influencers who are doing events or workshops, and they've got no online side and no online tech. So that's when we sort of split the two businesses, and the online became We Are X Wax. But it's the home of Killing Kittens digital world. So in order to come to events, you have to be a member of, you have to sign up onto Wax. You can join all the different brands. So it's not just Killing Kittens on there. There's other communities on there, have their own chat groups, have all their events listings. So it's kind of, Bumble meets WhatsApp meets Eventbrite, meets sex education. There's all the workshops and masterclasses on there. It's an entire ecosystem to your adult life. So, and it's also got the big dating side of it. So the swipe side of it all.
I mean, I think in everyone's head, you say Killing Kittens and people think it's just those sex parties, but you're actually a tech company.
That's the thing. That's the irony.
People don't actually understand that.
Being an offline person. Run a tech business, which is just scary. But no, it's actually tech. And the core of Killing Kittens is a massive, it's 200,000 people. It's a huge online community. So most people who are members haven't actually been to a party.
Right.
They're on the online side. They're all over the world. They're using it to be in the chat groups. They're using it to explore as couples or individuals. They're using it, on the dating side to find people. I've got girlfriends who have never been to an event, but they found their other halves by using the dating side of it.
Yeah.
So it's that side that people don't realize, I think. And I think COVID helped that. Well, not helped that, helped people realize that actually we weren't just a little party set up. Because I had so many people going, how are you still operating?
Yeah.
Have you not made people redundant? It's like, because we're actually a tech business, really.
Yeah.
And everyone when they're all locked in their houses, we're suddenly, hang on a minute, we can only go online. So all the online side
started booming.
So it was a bit of, weird.
And I read I actually am a shareholder in your business because I'm a UK taxpayer. So I read a headline this morning in preparation for this podcast. I was like, so you got funding from the government in COVID, didn't you? Yeah,
so they had a future fund set up. So if you'd raised money, there were loads of boxes. If you'd raised money previously, if you were turning over X amount, so many things. And we just suddenly went, hang on a minute, we qualify
for all that criteria.
Of these. And what we didn't want to do is we'd raised money the 2 years before. We didn't want to use the money we'd raised to build all the tech to cover the hole in the event side for 18 months. So so we got that, applied for it, got it. And then all hell broke loose.
I think it was great PR. It was great PR.
Yeah, no, it was good.
100%.
In bed with Boris. So,
I know. And then, they made a good return on their investment.
That's what I said. We're like the poster child for the future fund. So.
For sure, definitely.
Because
because it boomed. So it was great. The parties are all over the world. Where's your biggest? Is it London your biggest place? Yeah,
London's biggest. And then we do kind of more pop-ups. We do Venice, some more destination ones. We do Venice for the Carnival. We launched in Paris in May, which is probably going to be more regular because that has a big community out there.
That's got a huge community because I know my mates go over there to Paris.
Yeah, huge side. And we've done Berlin, we've done Amsterdam. We've done loads in New York. New York is more social. So we run socials as well in London. So they're just drinks events. And that's what New York is because all their sex laws have changed. So it's really tricky to have the full-on parties in America. Right. So New York, we do loads of socials, sort of 100, 200 people going for drinks, and then people can go off and do what they want. And then we're looking to launch LA. We've done a few in LA previously, but launch more regularly end of this year probably.
Apologies for interrupting this podcast, but I need to ask a favour. If you're enjoying this podcast so far, then please hit that subscribe button right now. I'll be straight up and honest that I want to see this podcast grow and flourish into something that I'm really proud of. And the only way that I can do that is with your help. So if you've ever learned anything useful from these conversations, then please return the favour by liking, rating, subscribing, and maybe even sharing it with your friends. Thanks very much. Let's get back to the episode. Do you ever think you're going to like merch and products?
We do have a small, it's a store called It's a Kittens World.
Yeah.
So that is more, we do have that, but that's more marketing.
Right.
We use that for marketing because it's mainstream and you can have all the adverts on social media, whereas Kittens is adults, whereas It's a Kittens World merch store and it's hats and t-shirts and things sort of.
I'm thinking like...
toys, you're thinking toys, aren't you?
Yeah, because you've got such a good brand name now that a lot of people, 1,000,000% in this world know.
Well, I'd love to.
And you could then launch it into, well, Ann Summers does really well or wherever, but I think 100% that would be a next step.
I think it's kind of an obvious one, but there's so many, it's like the toy world market is so saturated. I think if we did it, it would be a collaboration with someone else.
Yeah.
So we'd have to, and actually we've been approached a few times by different people. We'd do it with Ann Summers, we'd do it with, Love Honey, actually someone who's already lay low, someone who's already making them, and then they bring out the kitten or something where you just do a collaboration side of it rather than us doing it.
I'm thinking the rabbit, obviously you've got those eaters, so you could do kind of
we do need the kitten, don't we?
You could do the kitten quite easily. I feel like you should be doing this definitely 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
So what is your next step then? Is it just to grow the online community? What's coming up? Oh, actually, the biggest thing I read it was on the other day was the cruises.
The cruise, we've gone, we were like sort of, right, are we signing this contract or not about a month ago?
Who's the cruise liner? I'm thinking like Royal Caribbean.
Let's just do a cruise. Azamara, so it is a big one. It's 7 nights in the Mediterranean in June 2026. And it kind of, there are lifestyle kind of cruises out there and people always sort of are like, you've got to do your own cruise. And now that we've got all our numbers up and we know we can fill a 600-person cruise ship. So it's sort of, and we've done resorts and retreats, takeovers and stuff. So it kind of was... There was the obvious step, well, not an obvious step, but it's a massive one. And it's a huge financial outlay and huge risk. But we went signed it and doing it. And I think, we went live on the sales 2 weeks ago and we've sold 35 cabins already. So
wicked.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. How, I was listening to a podcast with Joanne McNally and Vogue and they were talking about it and they were kind of going through it in their head. Obviously, all the questions people want to know. How's the setup of the cruise going to work? Is it just going to be a free for all?
You're just imagining like 24/7 of sex for 7 days. No, it's like as if you're going on a cruise, and so you've got the evening entertainment. Is going to be, and we do different party concepts. So we've got hedonism, which is more wet and wild. And like steam room saunas, again, our jacuzzi's kind of set up. That's one of the events we do, which is a smaller event. And we do KK Cabaret nights, which is the dinner and the cabaret, risky burlesque kind of shows. So we've got Creatures of the Night, which is more kind of fetishy kind of dress up. And then we have like the white ball. So we're going, outside Monte Carlo, we'll do a white party, moored off that. So we've got a lot of different concepts, party-wise, that we do anyway. So every night will be a different. And then we'll have workshops we run in the day as well. So you can and you can get off the boat. So you can kind of go and do your own thing in the daytime. You can kind of come in and out of the workshops and things. And then every night we'll have an event, a theme that goes
Is it for couples only or?
No, girls
as well.
Yeah.
So single girls and couples.
So we've had quite a few single girls kind of take up suites.
Right, okay.
And it's like with the events now, there's loads of single girls that come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. So where was the cruise going? So you go Monte Carlo.
Starts Barcelona. So it's in and out of Barcelona. It's like a circle. So it goes, It's Monte Carlo, Portofino, Palma. Yeah.
And who comes up with the concepts? Is it you? Is it, how many's in the team now?
Do you know, it's everyone. It's kind of, there's a core 9 of us.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, everything sort of happens with everyone in the mix, with all the conversations to like split the business. That was sort of 6 months of quite heated conversations with all of us. Like, shall we, shan't we? Is it the best thing to do? So it's kind of, it's sort of, there's not one person that really will do it. So if you think about if I go back and think about different concepts, I'm like, I'm not sure what. It's sort of that, well, we should do cabaret. We should, that kind of comes
collaborative effort between everyone on the team. You're also launching the Hom. Is it Killing Kittens Hom, or is it Wax Hom? Sorry.
No, it's KK Hom.
Right, KK Hom.
Yeah, it's the male KK.
Okay. And what does that involve?
That a lot of men. So that is
that just for gay people?
Gay and bisexual.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's something that, I've always wanted to do the gay versions since day one. So 19 years, I've always gone, and we called it Pink Kittens ages ago. We never did it. I always went one day, actually, I want to do. So finally, it makes sense to do it with the way there's a big bi boom that's going on. And there's a big explosion of bisexual men as well. So I think actually, a lot of what Killing Kittens is, and it's all women, and I'm known for the, female empowerment side of things. But I think sexually, on the bisexual male front, I think it's a lot harder socially to be that than it is to be a bisexual woman and come out. Because it's not.
I know loads of men who are like, "There's no bisexual men," and I was like, "What do you mean?"
Oh, there's loads.
But they're like, "No, because you're just gay."
You're gay with a straight, and that's what they've always said.
Yeah.
But the whole sexuality boom of we've got 27 different genders on Wax app, and just that fluid, and people, to me, I just don't think anyone is ever 100% in one point on the spectrum. I think you can constantly evolve. People can change. I've known women who very much in their 20s would go, we are straight. Now in their 40s are living with women. It's one of those things. And I think as society has allowed it, or not allowed it, it's kind of become okay to be fluid, to be whatever you want to be, to fall in love with whoever you want to fall in love with. I think what was easier for women to do that, like 20 years ago, and, that was a big part of KK and still is, that bi-curious female. We've seen a big shift in men, in couples, going, well, actually, we're, getting very fluid or touchy-feely with other men. And so I think it's that space for them to feel comfortable, and gay men to, feel that it's that high-end sort of luxury, privacy, we don't allow them phones, all of that kind of side of it, and the community side. So it's sort of extreme networking, really. So there's so many business deals done in KK already.
Really?
Yeah, you see people talking business all the time at these events. So to do the man version.
That bit. So how do you know John? Oh, well, I met him at Killing Kids.
Well, do you know, so many people go, I'm friends with so many people, how do you know each other? I'm like, out and about in London.
Yeah. That is so crazy. I follow you on LinkedIn. You're very vocal on there. And there's I love, is it called Woman the Fuck Up?
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. I love reading your posts on that. Often comments backing you up on a lot of the things that you say.
Thank you. That was, Women the Fuck Up was actually a bit of a side hustle. A few of us are doing now, like courses and what, just because it really annoys me. It's one of my, where there's so much workshops for confidence in the workplace for women and all these mainstream sort of, and then there's so many sex education type, body positivity and confidence in the bedroom, but they're seen as seedy and sex. And to me, having been in the mix of it for like 19 years and also on the business side and seeing loads of, I'm involved in loads of female founder stuff and women business stuff, and the confidence gap and just going, well, actually, it should all be mixed up, because if you can own your voice in the bedroom, then you can walk into a boardroom. But so many women don't have that voice in the bedroom.
I don't think I'm just trying to think about myself here. I don't think I'd be 100% confident in either aspect, actually. So what would a workshop look like for that?
So we're in the middle of, there's a 6-week online course we're doing at the moment, and there are 3 other women involved. They're really good educators in it. So it's everything. I think this week it's boundaries, like internal boundaries, external boundaries, and having a voice to say what you want, what you don't want. And so it's sort of, it's that voice that actually does cross over, because with your partner, that can be your partner in the bedroom, it can be your partner in business. It's sort of that confidence in women is just it's not there.
I think you need to be sure of what you want before you go in, no matter what it is, bedroom, boardroom. What is the outcome that you want? commit to that kind of, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about, because I can be airy fairy and go around the houses sometimes as well. Like, but actually, no, I know what I actually want out of this deal. Let's kind of get it done. So yeah, no, I think that's really interesting. Definitely. So it's a 6-week course online.
Well, this one's 6 week, but we've done collaborations with sort of founder finance setups where we just give them the content and they do a half-day course and stuff. So it's we'll do more of that where we give the course, which starts off more boardroomy kind of thing and then goes more bedroom. Just give it into big corporates and stuff so they can just give it to.
And are they welcoming of it?
Yeah, really welcoming.
Are they? Or do HR get involved and be like, you can't be talking about that?
They quite like it because I think it's different and it is quite corporate. It's not too sex-based. It's, you know, and actually you go, well, actually, if you can empower your female workforce to have more confidence, and actually there is quite a bit of that personal bit, then it's sort of everyone's so kind of separated all. But actually, as women, we're kind of like a whole plate of spaghetti, aren't we? Men are more compartmentalised. And
you totally change over time, you know. You're not the same person that you were at 20 as you are at 40, beyond, you know, then you hit menopause, etc. We should say you are, I don't know how you do it all, Emma, I really don't. You're a wife, you're a mother, you're like an absolute firebrand. Like I said, I go on LinkedIn and you're just like doing so much stuff all the time. You know, you're really ambitious. What's next? What's the, like, you know, when you look back and like retire, what kind of are you looking at your legacy?
When I retire?
Yeah.
In my 20s, my email signature was that quote about life, not about arriving at the grave in a pristine, you know, it's sliding in, you know, battered and whatever, saying, holy shit, that was a ride. And I think that, you know what I mean? It's that, I just think you've got one life and I'm not, but I have got better at taking care of myself and my boundaries are better at going no and being what I call unapologetically selfish, just to go, no, I'm not going to do that. And actually I'm going off for a retreat for a week, or I'm going away with girls, or, you know, just having my time, which I think as you get older, you get better.
Yeah.
That balance. But I don't know really, because I just think, you know, the world we're so not there yet on the female male thing. So the fire is still burning very strongly. And sometimes when you think we're getting better, it just feels like it's going backwards. The last like 3-4 years on a lot of women's stuff feels like it's going backwards. So
yeah,
keep going.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And my last question: so, what does, like, are you going to be at the helm of killing kittens and wax forever, or do you ever see you like selling the business? Or
to be honest, I've got an amazing team and I've got an amazing business partner, Hadley, and he's very hands-on and that's how I operate. So I'm not a micromanager. I'm more lone wolf. I'm more that person who's a mile ahead and then we'll come back and circle the team, check everyone's all right, go back out again. And so it's sort of, you know, I'm CEO in the title, but actually a lot of people would go, well, that you don't really act like a CEO. You're
very hands-on.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're the one doing, like, you're out front doing the marketing. Every single headline is always a picture of you. You are the face of the brand.
Love the pictures.
You're the face of the brand. You're the mouthpiece of the brand, and you very much are the embodiment of the brand, I would say. No, but it's a great story. It's a real British success story, and this is the thing I think people don't realise, like, how good it actually is. And like I said, it's a misconception that people just think you do a couple of parties, but actually it's a real tech platform. Have you got any designs to, like, kind of take it as far as like Bumble, Tinder?
Well, yeah, so the online side, and that's actually partly why we split into Wax, so that I am more embodied in killing kittens, whereas Wax is all inclusive and everyone and anyone, and it's more Gen Z, millennial, kind of a lot of the brands coming in and stuff, and I'm 46-year-old middle-aged woman, mum of 3. So actually it enables that's growing in numbers in the same way dating does, and it does rival the technology and stuff, definitely rivals all the big ones, and you've got the community side of it as well. So actually that one we do want to grow and exit, and it's kind of an obvious one that could easily be sold into the big groups. We scale it or it just gets bought. because it's quite niche, and a lot of the big, dating groups out there are buying up all the niche dating apps. So without taking Killing Kittens, which is the one where everyone will go, we don't, how can we buy that?
Yeah.
So it's got so many bits and pieces to it.
Yeah.
And I am very much intertwined into that, whereas wax, I'm not. So yeah.
Well, Emma, thank you so much for coming in to chat to us today. I really, really enjoyed our chat, and I appreciate it. So if anyone wants to get hold of you, I definitely think everyone should follow her on LinkedIn because she's great. So it's Emma Sayle. And if people want to get hold of you in like social media or anything, where can they find you?
Emma Sayle, really. I know, Emma Sayle, Killing Kittens, you can kind of, we're X, it's sort of, they're quite easy.
Yeah.
Easily searchable names to find wherever.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.